Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the cards for the 15th of June 2017. Thank you to everybody who sent me messages yesterday, emails, private inboxes, messages on YouTube, and everybody who commented on my channel as well. Don't worry about me. I am absolutely fine. I'm 100% fine, more than fine. These people aren't getting to me. They're just getting on my nerves, and I just wanted to nip it in the bud straight away. Okay. So thank you for your concern. Thank you for your support as well. It does mean a lot, but honestly, I am fine. So the cards today, quite a strange one. Now, yesterday, I've got to explain this first. Uh, Yesterday, I booked some time out. I just needed some time out yesterday afternoon. So I'd done the work I had to, and then the reason I booked time out was I was meant to be doing another San Pedro ceremony. I decided against it because I had some stuff going on in my personal life, so I didn't want to. I thought, right, I need to deal with this, myself, rather than, I'd much rather go into a ceremony with an open mind and a clear head, and I knew where it would take me. So it was still done in my premises, the San Pedro ceremony, so it still went ahead. I stayed indoors. And bizarrely enough, being the empath that I am, I didn't actually need to take the medicine because the medicine came to me. So I was suddenly sitting, I suddenly started to feel queasy, suddenly started to feel sick, and I thought, I'm going to go up to my bedroom, I'm going to take a book up, I'm going to do that. I got up to my bedroom. Within 5 minutes, I was in the most excruciating pain that I have felt since the last time I was in labour. That is the only way that I described it. It started in my back, it started in my stomach. I was on my knees, I was curled up. I was literally like, what is going on here? There was a lot of stuff going on around, within my life, there's a lot of stuff going on around mothers and motherhood. Okay, and straight away I thought, right, this is why I'm getting the pain. So like I say, I was, for literally about an hour, I was doubled up. I was thinking, if this carries on, I am going to have to get an ambulance or something. But that's the only way I can describe it. It was like labor pains, so it's like, right, there's hard work to do. I then went to sleep. I thought, right, okay, if I go to sleep, I'll be able to do it. And when I went to sleep, which it wasn't sleep, I just tuned straight into spirit. My own mother came. The messages I was given were massive. They were very, very correct. Very, yeah. What's the word for correct? They were, yeah, accurate. That's it. They were very accurate. They were very insightful as well, and a lot of stuff came out. And I remember at one point thinking, this is it. I'm in a family. I was being given symbols and everything. When I've looked the symbols up, the symbols were all to do with motherhood, new life, and new birth again. The reason I'm saying this is because these cards today are sort of coinciding with this, and also because I like to share, like things that go on. And at one point, I heard this almighty scream. It was a scream like I've never heard before. It was sort of a bit like a whale, like a not a whale that swims in the sea, like somebody wailing, and like a banshee. It was just so bizarre, and I heard it as clear as anything. And in this dream state that I was in, I said to my mother, "What is that sound? What is making that sound?" And she said, "It's the world crying." She said, "The world is screaming because of how things are at the moment." Which I got, and I was so shown quite a few images of things that are going on in the world and that are going to go on in the world. I'm not going to go into them because, I don't predict bad. I don't anything like that, but she said it was the world that was screaming. So there was a lot came through on that. And then today I have sat to do the cards. Usually I make notes on a morning of what come through. Today I was told don't make any notes, just go with it. So like I say, please bear with me. The card that I pulled today is the Tower. Now, nobody likes to see the Tower, okay? Nobody likes it. When I looked at that, first of all, it's give me a little bit of a jolt. Those of you that are in the UK will have known of the devastating, horrific fire that there was yesterday in London, you know, where people lost their lives, where this could have been avoided, okay? And anybody that's seen it on the news, you know, seen it on social media, anything, will know that that picture, if we cut this bit off, you know, it looks very similar to the images that we've seen. So this is one of the things, this was one of the images I was shown yesterday as well. So quite surprising that this comes in. Now, where I'm going with this is, like I say, the world was screaming, and there is so much devastation, so much destruction going on in the world at the moment. We're in the age of Aquarius, okay? And this has been coming for a long time, and within the age of Aquarius, this was predicted, you know, long ago what was going to happen. We used to be in the Piscean age, okay? And when we were in the Piscean age, we were all about me and I and what's in it for me, what can I get? You know, it was greed. It was built on greed. It was what can I get and what can I get more of? That was what Pisces was. The Piscean age was a very, very selfish age. We are in the age of Aquarius now, but it's just building, you know, it's just, if you think this is going to last another 1,000 so years, we are just, you know, we are taking our first breath in it, even though it's been coming for the last few years. And what the Aquarian age is about us and what can we do for a whole. The me goes out of it, the ego goes out of it, and this is what this card is talking about. Everybody hates the tower. Everybody's scared of the tower, you know, because the tower is scary. But what the tower does is the tower brings devastation and chaos and destruction, okay? The reason it brings that is because we need to completely deconstruct, and we need to start from the bottom up again. So, you know, the tower, I always say that the card that comes after the tower and the Fool's Journey is the Star. So this is our hopes and dreams. This is healing. This is renewal. This is actually a cleansing and a healing. That's what the Star is. So this destruction that we are experiencing now, or you may be experiencing in your life, is coming so that you can break down these old structures that you have clung to, you know. If we have a look in this card, we have a Baba there, and what the Babas do, you know, they're sort of yogis within India, and they go off and they feast on flesh. They're cannibals. They eat their own feces, you know, they don't wash. They literally, you know, they live quite a disgusting, horrible life. But the reason they do that is so that they can completely break down their ego. They totally go through the most devastating humiliation in order to be set free and ego free, you know. So what I'm getting with this is, like I say, we have them skulls there, you know, we have this, there is devastation, there is, you know, there are people dying on a daily basis that shouldn't be dying. They're doing it for a rich man's greed. Okay, we are fighting, we have soldiers out there that are fighting a rich man's war, you know. Them soldiers might get a medal at the end of it, and then they're kicked out on the street and they end up homeless. This is what the world is at the moment, and this is why change is coming and change is needed. And the more things that are happening like this, the devastation, yes, this tower burning yesterday, it was horrific. My heart goes out, and please, everybody, if you can send love to the victims, you know, there's things on social media where you can donate money, donate food, donate clothes. These people have lost everything, okay, everything, their homes. If they haven't lost their lives, they've lost their homes, you know. And what is happening with this, that could have been prevented, you know, if the rich men wanted to spend the money on other people to make sure that they're safe, but they didn't. You know, because that doesn't work in the money world. And, you know, they're still living under the Piscean age. So this is what's happening. All of this that is happening now, this chaos we're seeing, you know, everything like this is opening our eyes and letting us know that this is not the way. There is another way that we can do this. And this is why the tower is coming in, you know. The tower is coming in to force us to make change. The tower forces change. It's necessary change. The tower never takes away something from you without giving you better back. So the people that are scared of the tower Look at it. What is it you are scared of? The tower makes you face your fears. Jim Morrison said, when you look fear in the face, once you expose yourself to your deepest, darkest fear, then it ceases to exist. It has no power over you and it has no control over you. A lot of us are scared of dying. Death is our biggest fear. But the thing is, every single one of us is going to die. At one point I spent some time in Asia and I spoke to the monks about death and life and they said us Westerners pretend it's not going to happen. They said they know from the minute somebody is born is they are dying. So that is why they don't have petty little arguments, They don't bring the ego into it and they don't want to win all the time. Because what is more important? It's spending time with your loved ones and spending quality time. If you have an argument with somebody and they walk out the door and they don't come back, how are you going to feel? Is that argument worth it? Was it worth it saying that one little thing? Just so that you can say, yeah, I won that. It's not at all. I've had that happen, sadly, luckily, it wasn't, the last words weren't fighting. The last words I said to my mother were, I love you. She walked out the door and she was hit by a truck and she never came back, So that's it. It's not worth it. That is a fear that I always had. What would I do if that happened? If I had known that was going to happen, I would have gone into a spiral. But when it happened, I had to face it. And this is what's happening with the tower. We're having to face facts. We're having to look at the destruction. We can't turn our head away. People say it's all... people say I'm fluffy. I'm not fluffy at all. What I'm saying here is you have to face it and you have to face the horrors of the world. Because what is happening at the moment, we are being called to act. Every single one of us is here to serve. Okay? And this is it. We need to face our fears and we need to do something about what is going on. Today I watched a video and there's a sort of party or whatever, I don't know what they're called. They're in the UK and they're racists, they're bigots, they're horrific, And there was a video yesterday of them on the street in a Muslim community. And these two white women went up to them when they were filming and said, what are you doing? What are you doing here? And these two, they were tiny, these women, and they went up and they stood up to these bullies. They were by themselves. They stood up. What happened then? They stood up to them and more people came around and more people laughed at them and they stopped them from doing this horrible propaganda video. So this is what we need to do. We need to stop it. We need to nip it in the bud. If we see somebody being victimized, no longer can we turn a blind eye at that. We have a voice and this is what we have to do because every person on this world is our brother and our sister. We all hurt the same. You cut us, we bleed the same. There is no difference between anybody. But rather than bring nastiness into our world and petty little arguments that mean shit, we need to stand up for those who are being victimized. Okay? And this means not turning a blind eye, not being scared, not like sort of putting your head down and walking away. It's about standing together, with these people, because this is when we will get our strength and this is when we can change the world. And believe it or not, that is what we are here for. Each of us has a purpose within this world, and as I've said before, it is to come from a love base. But what we need to do is we need to face fear head on first. Look at what you are scared of now. I was talking to a friend came over last night and they are going through a bad time in their relationship and their relationships broke up. And they said, I'm so scared I can't live my life without her. And I went, but you did. You lived your life for 38 years without her. So don't let that be your fear. You're scared of losing control. That is what you're scared of. So like I say, his life is not going to end if his girlfriend doesn't come back. It's not. He will carry on. He will hurt, but he will get through it. And this is it, look at what you're scared of today. Look at where your fears are coming from, because you might have to dig deep because that little fear that you think you're scared of might not be the real reason. So dig deep and see why and see what old structure or what old doctrine, has brought you to this place and then let it fall. Because this is it, we are brought up, I've talked about it, we are brought up on these structures that we're meant to live in. And some of them, you know, the structures keep us closed. They keep us closed off to other things. With this as well, you know, the tower, people say, oh, the tower's fallen. But with the tower, this is liberation through destruction. You know, if you think being put in a tower was a punishment in sort of olden day stories and fairy tales, you don't want to be stuck in a tower. You want to be free to roam. So that tower has only been confining you, you know, the structures that have been keeping you closed in and keeping you boxed in, you know, because you are easily controlled. If you are a prisoner in here, which a lot of us are, we're a slave to the system. You know, and we've got to do this. We're like good little workers, and we carry on and we carry on, and that is it. That's no more. You know, we are not here to make other people rich, you know, because that is it. It's greed, it's obscene, it's vulgar. You know, we are here to actually liberate not just us, but liberate the whole and liberate the rest of the world. And I know that sounds all woo-woo, but it's not. You know, this time has been coming. I've been predicting this for a lot of years. So that is the tower. So don't be scared whatever happens today. Realize that it is something that is outworn, that needs to go. Okay, and change will come from that. Then people that lost their lives, I got last night in this meditation, you know, they will not lose their lives in vain, because now people are standing up. There was a young guy on the news, which it's been cut, but it was put on. And he said, this is no accident. You know, there is people with blood on their hands here, and there is. You know, and people are now speaking out. People are finding their voice. And this is what we need more of. And the Osho card, like I say, Osho always tells it how it is. This is the rebel. This is breaking free from these chains, letting that tower fall around you, you know, sort of staying calm within the confusion and the devastation, and breaking the chains that have had you shackled for so long. And this is, I mean, as a collective. This isn't just personal. This is collective. This is to all of us, you know, because the thing is, another thing I watched yesterday, they say it's, you know, when people kick off or they protest or whatever, they say it's civil disobedience. It's not. The problem with the world is our obedience. That is where the problem lies, you know. So we need to say no, and we need to kick off, and we need to rebel, you know, because we are not fighting a person just for the hell of it. We are fighting for our freedom, and we are fighting for the freedom of the whole, you know, for our children, for our grandchildren. You know, we cannot have them being brought up in a world how it is at the moment. There's changes needed to be made. In the UK, it happened last week. You know, it happened with the election. People stood up, the young people stood up, and they've found their voice. And yes, it wasn't the result everybody wanted, but it's made change, and it's forced change, and it's got them at the top. It's got their knees quivering, you know, and this is it, because their control is going. And that will continue. So we need to keep the ball rolling. And if we have a look at this rebel, he's, like I say, he has the eagle there. This is about his strength. This is his torch. And this is like the fire in his belly. You know, this is his passion. You know, he's not doing this for control. He's doing this for liberation. You know, if we have a look, he's got his wings there. He's got all of the colours of the chakras here. You know, he's got rainbow colours in his hair. You know, he's like sort of a punk hippie. That's it. You know, he's an anarchist lover. That's what he is. You know, and this is what we all need to be. We need to learn how to say no. We need to stop following. You know, we need to stop that, because the world needs us now. The Colette Baron Reid card that I have is the tribe, and this is it, you know. Your tribe is calling you. That is why you're watching these videos, you know, to bring you together with like-minded people. You know, this is what it was said about the age of Aquarius. People are going to revolt, but it's going to be like a revolution of love. It's not going to be through fighting, you know. We use love as our weapon, and we use our voice, and that's it, and we just stand up. And the more of us that are standing, and if we're standing shoulder to shoulder, and if we're standing together, you know, then we cannot be defeated. You know, we need to let these structures crumble. This is it, you know, there's a bigger meaning within all this. And when your tribe comes in, you know, this is where you are useful. Every member of a tribe has their own use. So you might just be one person, but you fitting into your tribe, fitting into the like-minded, and you stand up in your voice, you know, is very, very important. You know, this is what we need to do. This is being part of a spiritual community, you know, being part of an artistic community. You know, it's working together to spread sort of the word and to let other people know that there is a different way. And this is why your tribe is calling, and they're calling you home. You know, and where is home? Home is where you feel comfortable. Home is where you feel safe. Home is where you feel nurtured. The tower wasn't home. You were uncomfortable in it, you know. You couldn't get comfortable because you knew something wasn't right. So the universe has taken that away from you so that you can find your tribe, you know, that you can find your real sort of place of home where you actually fit and where you have a purpose. So many people are told that they're useless within life, you know, and they believe that, and they're not. Every single one of us has a purpose. And when we join together with our tribe, they will show us that, you know, and this is when we will grow as people as well. You know, we're there to help each other. This is it. It's about us. It's not about I or me. This is about us, and the world needs it now. You know, there's changes coming. This is a number 8. You know, there is big, big change coming. You know, and it's exciting, you know, and yes, there might be a bit of a shitstorm beforehand, because I always see the tower, you know, when a place is demolished, it all goes up and there's debris and, you know, mist and everything like that, you know, fog, we cannot see it. But when that settles, there's a clearing, and we sort of see that there's a way to go. And this is what I feel the message is at the moment, you know. So it's find your tribe, you know. When you find your tribe, you don't need anything else, because you will have everything that you need. You know, you will, you know, this is fight the good fight. This is what I'm getting. But be a peaceful warrior, you know. People, you know, they've said it within wars, you know. Wars don't work. If they did, we wouldn't continue to have them. All war does is destroy lives, you know, and each side thinks that they're right. So, you know, what is it? What is it we are really fighting for? You know, what is it we are really fighting for? What is it we have young soldiers going out and risking their lives for? It's to line the pockets of these rich people, you know, that try to keep us in control. And this is where we need to break free. And peace will only come when we join together. And this is what we need, peace. You know, we don't fight for peace. We peace for peace. That's what happens, you know. Fighting for peace, as they said, you know, great, one of my favourite slogans. You know, it's like fucking for virginity. It doesn't work, you know. Anybody seen that picture of the guy going and putting the flower in the gun on a protest? You know, that is it. That is a beautiful, very, very powerful protest. Another one is the people going up with mirrors and showing all of these police in the riot gear and everything, showing them what they look like, showing them the anger that is directed to these people who just want change, you know, and this is how we can do this. So let that tower fall, you know, whatever is happening, whatever you are trying to cling to at the moment, let it go, because it's not serving you. There is peace at the end of it. There is healing at the end of it, and there is your hopes and dreams, you know, so we need hope. And this is what I feel this message is today, you know. We need to stop that world screaming. That sound I heard last night was horrific. I've never heard anything like it, you know. It was bizarre. And this is what we need to do, and we can actually be the change that we want to see in the world, you know. That's what Gandhi said. And we all have the power to do that. So I'm going to pull a spirit card. Sorry, like I say, you sign up for this and, you know, I never know what's going to come out. I always say it's like spiritual catchphrase. I just say what I say, and this is the message, you know. And what we have is the moon goddess here, you know, absolutely beautiful, beautiful card. And what it says here, these cards just blow me away all the time, is this is a time of necessary upheaval, a blessing in disguise. As the dust settles, the gift reveals itself. So this is it, you know. Look at that woman. It's like she's sitting in meditation, you know. She's bringing the light in. And this is what we need to do, you know. When we are all in it together, this is when we, you know, our light will shine brighter, you know. We need to get on that love vibration. And when we're on that love vibration, you know, it doesn't matter what is around us, surrounding us. It will penetrate through that, because light is stronger than dark. Like I said it yesterday. The dark cannot exist where the light is there. And there's a huge battle going on with the dark and the light at the moment, you know. But once we shine our light brightly, and once we let these structures fall, and once we follow, you know, and we follow our soul, this is when we can shine brightest of all. Okay? So, I hope that made sense to you. Like I say, sorry, any of you who are wanting to know about the Tall Dark Stranger today, sorry they had other plans there and I'm just passing them on. But there is change coming. Something is happening, you know. There's, like I say, this revolution of love, you know, it is coming, you know, and people might say that's hippie and woo-woo or whatever, but, you know, I believe it, and, you know, soon we will see it as well, you know, so we've got to stand together. We're soldiers of the truth, okay? That's how they've just said there, soldiers of the truth. Our eyes are wide open. So, if anybody would like a reading with me, please get in touch via my Facebook or via my website. Please note that all bookings must be made through my website now. Anybody wanting an emergency reading, please contact me first to make sure that there's availability, because they go pretty quickly. And like I say, get them kit gloves on, you know. We don't need the boxing gloves on, we need those kit gloves on, because this is going to be a gentle fight, but we are in it till the end, and your purpose will be revealed in that. Okay, so I'm feeling really, really good here. There's something happening. I think that flame of the rebel is sort of stirring something, you know. But I don't know what is going to happen, but I know that it is going to be good. Okay, and there's a lot of people I feel will come into your life in the next few months as well, you know, that are going to be very beneficial to you as well in the future. Okay, so have an absolutely fabulous day, and I'll be back tomorrow with the cards of today. Sat Nam.